Subpart O, detailed requirement of the cotton, vegetable fibers, motor vehicle with a polymetric plastic mold and compounds. 176-900 package with the show of the cotton, vegetable fibers, general cotton class 9 NA 1365 cotton wet division 42 and the UN 1365 other vegetable fibers division 42. These being transported vessel must be securely baled and bonded. Bale and cotton vegetable fibers must be covered with a bagging of at least 3/4 inch, including both ends. The cotton linears must be acceptable to transportation by vessel. Bale covered in bagging on the soft side. Bale compressed and intensified at least 32 pounds per cubic feet and is bound with at least 6 pounds for the per bale. Poorly compressed bale. Any bale having damaged buildings may not be transported by vessel. Each bale in cotton wet division 42 UN 1365 must be stored separately for any bales of dry cotton, vegetables, and free fibers between the deck space and not overstow any bale and cotton vegetable fibers with it saturated with the water and not be transported in vessel. Bales, cotton vegetable fibers are showing contact with oil grease may not accept the transportation vessel. Cotton vegetables must be stowed in the holding compartment according to the following requirements. All trace the oil residue with the holding compartment must be removed. Recently painted and holding compartment may not be used unless they're thoroughly dried. Each ventilation cowls everything in the holding compartment must be fitted with a spark screen. When bulk holding compartment with the common with the boiler room, engine room, and the coal bunker of the galley with the subject to the heat with the wooden bulkhead must be erected between the bulkhead and any cotton vegetable fibers. The wood bulkhead must be at least 6 inches of the boiler room bulkhead, at least 2 inches from the engine room with the coal bunker, galley, and bulkhead. Each between the deck hatch for the cover the hatch cover the tarpaulins and damage over the metal catch for the cover the seal of the other means that provide equivalent protection used. Each holding compartment must be equipped with a carbon dioxide overhead water sprinkler system over then approve the fixed extinguisher system. The loading extinguisher of the system must be explained to ensure the good working condition. Each of the whole of the compartment must be clearly all the debris swept and clean practical before loading. Naked lights, any fire likely produced the spark with not permitted any vessel with dock everything any light alongside vessel during loading unloading cotton with vegetable fibers upon completion of stowage opening with the most completely closed. When required, the tarpaulins must be provided physically secure within ensure they provide the tight hold during the period of the time. Store for the loading unloading hands may be left open. However, during the period of the fire watch designated with the master for the officer for the charge must be stationed in the whole of the department in which the cotton and vegetable fibers are stowed. At least one fire hose must be connected with the cotton and vegetable fiber loaded with the unloaded fire pump that must be operated with before with the loading. Unloading pressure must be maintained with each of the fire main during loading and fire housing laid out with a remedy immediately. Use of the portable power single cylinder must be played with the available firehouse, fire pump, fire extinguisher, maybe vessel and equipment and shore equipment. Smoking is not permitted with the vessel during loading and unloading cotton vegetable fibers except for those time with the place designated with the master. No smoking sign of them must be consistently put in an appropriate place with a reasonable place over them for charge with the loading and unloading. 176.557 them repaired must ensure that they are observed. Cotton vegetable fibers may be bestowed with the same holder over the bulk sulfur, but the sulfur had been trimmed at the level of the hold thoroughly with the clean and sulfur dust. A type flour layers of 1 inch crop with each of the clean dunnage boards that must be laid on sufficient sulfur between the cotton, vegetables, and fibers are stowed with the substance may be stowed alongside each over the other same hole that they are separated with the tight dust-proof wood bulkhead. Cotton vegetable fibers may not be stowed with between the deck holder and the bulk sulfur holding unless it's between the deck and the holder between the with the cleans all sulfur dust and the between the deck hatch cover they all in place with the covered in tarpaulins dunnage. 176.901 stores with the cotton, vegetable fibers, and rosin pits. Less practical, the cotton vegetable fibers being transported on a vessel may not stored within the same of the whole of the compartment of the rosin pitch with the baby transported in the same vessel. Separate storage of the impractical cotton vegetable fibers stowed in the whole of the compartment of the rosin pitch with the separated with the clean and jump with the cargo with the non-combustible feature of the storage of the such storage with the same of the whole of the compartment involved with a large amount with the cotton fibers over the rosin pitch. The rosin pitch must be floored off with at least 2 years of the 1 inch for the damage in the cotton vegetable fibers so above. 176.903 stowed with the cotton vegetable fibers of the coal. Cotton vegetable fiber to transport the vessel may not be stowed within the same hole with the coal. That may be stowed within the adjacent hole with the separated with the tight steel bulkhead with the cotton vegetable fibers done with at least 2 inches of the bulkhead. Cotton vegetable fibers may be stowed within the hole above, below 1 inch width with the stove with if there is none tight steel with the intervening deck all hatch covers all are in place with the covered the tarpaulins. 176.905 storage vehicles. A vehicle part with the internal combustion fuel cell with the batteries and battery the combination layer over the subject of the following requirements: 1 carried and cargo vessel. Before loading in the vessel, each of the vehicle, they inspect for the sign with leakage of the batteries and the engine of the fuel cell with the compressed gas and the cylinders accumulator of the fuel tank with identified faults, electrical system that could result in the short circuit other than unintended electrical source. In addition, the vehicle show with any of the sign with leakage of the electrical fault may not be transported. For flammable liquid, powered vehicle, the fuel tank contained with the flammable liquid may not be more than 1/4 of the flammable liquids not exceeding 66 gallons if otherwise approved with the associated insurer. Flammable gas power with the vehicle, the shell valve with the fuel tank must be securely closed. Vehicle with the batteries and install with the batteries of the protector for the damage and short circuit of the accident activation with the transport, except for the vehicle with the prototype low production lithium batteries. Section C173-185D with the subchapter securely install the lithium battery must be the type of the successfully pass each of the type, except for the UN manual test for the criteria. Specified 173-185A subchapter on left as approved with the associated administrator. The lithium battery installed with the vehicle with the damage or defect of the battery must be removed with the transport and accorded 173-185 subchapter on left otherwise approved with the associated administrator. Whenever possible, each vehicle that may be stowed with allowed with the inspection during the transportation. Vehicles are refused and necessary to hold the vessel in accord 178. All the equipment used for the handling vehicle is designed for the fuel tank. Fuel system with the vehicle that protected with the traffic might cover the rupture for the other damage and instant handling. And two handling portable dry chemical fire extinguishers to leave of the 10 pounds capacity. Each of them must be separately located in a accessible location. Each hole of the compartment near the vehicle stowed. No smoking signs must be conveniently located each for the access of the holding compartment. Each portable electrical, including flashlight within the storage area, that must be approved with an explosion-proof type. Electrical connection for the any type of light may be without outlets outside of the space in which any vehicle is stowed. Each hole of the compartment is ventilated, fitted with the overhead water sprinkler system fixed in the fire extinguisher system. Each hole of the compartment must be equipped with a smoke fire detection system capable of the alternating personnel on the bridge. All electrical equipment in the hole of the compartment other than fixed explosion-proof lighting must be disconnected with the power source with the location outside the holding compartment during the handling of the transportation. Any of the vehicle, while disconnecting may use the switch and the circuit with the breaker, they must be located with the open position. All vehicles that have been removed. Exemptions of vehicle does not submit the requirements of the subchapter. Any of the following are met. The vehicle is stowed within the hold of the compartment designated with the administrator of the country with which the vessel is registered with especially designed and approved with the vehicle, so there are no silent leakage from the battery, engine, fuel cell with brass and gas under accumulated with the fuel tank and is appropriate. The fuel vehicle's battery contained with the fuel tanks contain gas transported U.S. vessels, Title 46 CFR 7010-1, 9010-30. For vehicles powered solely with the lithium batteries, hybrid electrical vehicle powered in an internal combustion engine, lithium battery, metal iron batteries offered within accordance with paragraph B. Lithium batteries, except for the prototype of this produced with the low production, must be the type of the successfully passed each step of the UN manual testing criteria IBR 17170 of the subchapter. Specified 173-185A with the subchapter lithium battery installed with the vehicle damage of the defect of the battery must be removed. Reserve the vehicle. Powered and flammable liquid with a flashpoint. 100 degrees Fahrenheit above the fuel tank of the can, taking 119 gallon of fuel left. There is no leak in any portion of the fuel system installed with the batteries, particularly with the short circuit. Vehicle cooled and powered with a flammable liquid handled with the fuel flashpoint with less than 100 degrees Fahrenheit with the fuel tank empty installed with the batteries and or protected with the short circuit. The vehicles are considered empty flammable liquid fuel with a fuel tank half the drain. Vehicles cannot be operated due to the lack of fuel engine. Components such as the fuel lining filters, injector that does not need to clean the drain, the purge conservatively empty. The fuel tank does not need to clean and purge. The vehicle being powered, inflammable gas liquid compressed. The fuel tanks are empty with the poisonous positive for the pressure for the tank. Does not exceed the tube bar with the fuel shut off with the isolation valve with the closed secured insulating batteries and protecting short circuit. Vehicle solely powered in wet dry electrical storage batteries. Sodium battery with the batteries protected with short circuit. The vehicle with the powered by the fuel cell engine of the protected fuel inverter operation and clothed in the fuel supply line. Other means and fuel supply reservoir and drain sealed, except for the provided by Statute 173-220F for the subchapter. The provision for the subchapter do not apply to the items, equipment, and fire extinguisher, compressed and gas accumulators, airbag inflators that likely installed with the vehicle that are not necessary for the operation of the vehicle, safety operation of passengers. 176. 6. Those are the engine and machinery. Engine of the machinery powered with the internal combustion system without batteries installed. Subject to the following requirements within carried as cargo of the vessel before being loaded on the vessel. The machinery must inspect with fuel leaks identified and involved with the electrical system that could result in short circuit other than intended electrical source of ignition. Engine machinery showing when any of the sign of leakage or electrical fault may be transported. Fuel tank for the engine with the machinery powered with liquid fuel may not be more than 1/4 full, but when possible, each of the engine machinery must be started allowed with the inspection during the transportation. All equipment used with the handling engine and machine must be designed. So the fuel tank of the fuel system engine with the machinery protected with the shove of the might cover the rupture or damage incident handling. To handle the portable dry chemical vehicle fire extinguisher reliefs are 10 pounds with the capacity. Each capacity is separately located with the except of location and hold of the compartment within the engine machinery stove with no smoking signs that consistently mount posted at least each of the opening and hold of the compartment. Each portable electrical light, including the flashlight, in the storage area with must be approved with explosive-proof type electrical connection for any light must be provided with the outlets over the space within any of the engine machinery stowed. Each hole of the compartment must be ventilated with the overhead with the water sprinkler system and the fixed fire extinguisher. Each hole of the compartment must be equipped with a smoke fire direction system capable of altering personnel on the bridge. Electrical equipment, and they hold the control compartment with the fixed explosion proof with the lighting with disconnect with the power source with the location outside of the hold of the compartment during handling transportation and engine machinery which disconnects means the switch for the circuit breaker. It must be locked in open position until all engine and machinery have been moved. Exemptions: any engine manufacturer not subject to the requirements of subchapter the engine with the machinery equipped with liquid and gaseous flammable fuels does not contain other dangerous installable batteries and are protected. The short circuit engineer machinery considered to be empty of fuel when. For liquid fuel tank with drain with the mechanical equipment cannot be operated with the lack of the fuel engine machinery component started for the fuel line. Fuel filters, injectors do not need to be cleaned, drained, and purged and considered empty with liquid fuels in addition. Liquid fuel tank do not need to be cleansed and purged. Gas and fuel for the gas or fuel tanks empty and liquid. For the liquid gaseous positive pressure for the tank with not exceeding 2 bar 29 psi gauge fuel shell for the isolation valve closed and secured. The engine machinery powered and fuel cell engine protected the inadvertently operation clothing fuel supply lines other means fuel supply reservoir and drain sealed. Engine of the machinery not subject to requirements of subchapter except the 185 subchapter vessel stowage provision column 10b or 10 table 10 172 101 subchapter the following are met and any valves opening the venting device liquid fuels must be closed during the transportation. Engine machinery must be oriented to prevent the inadvertent leak of the dangerous goods and secured by means capable of restraining engine of the machinery to prevent moving during transportation would change the orientation of the eye of the damage. For UN 3528 3530 where the engine machinery contain the 16 gallons of liquid fuel has capacity not more than 119 gallons. You should be labeled in accordance with subpart E to the part 172 of the subchapter. So when where the engine of the machinery contains 60 liquid fuel that has a capacity of 119 gallons, but not more than 793 gallons, you should be labeled the two opposite in accordance with 172.406 subchapter. Where the engine of the machinery contains 16 gallons of liquid fuel that have a capacity of more than 793 gallons, should be placed according to opposite according with subpart at the 172 subchapter UN 3530 with the marking requirements of 172.322 subchapter must also apply for a UN 3529 for the fuel tank for the engine mechanical equipment for the has a water. Our capacity with not more than 119 gallons liability requirement of the subpart E of the 172 subchapter shall apply. When the fuel tank of the mechanical equipment the water capacity more than 119 gallons, not more than 264 gallons should be labeled the two opposing sides of the accordance with 172.406 subpart chapter. When the fuel tank of the mechanical equipment with the water capacity is more than 264 gallons, it shall be placed on the two opening opposing side of the corner of the subpart F part 172 with the subchapter. Except the engine machinery alpha corner for the paragraph 1 section of the shifting paper program more corners for the part 172 subchapter required contained with the following additional statement: the transport in accordance with 172 9 with the transportation corner of the international maritime dangerous goods. The following is the alternate statement: the authorized transport in accordance with international maritime dangerous goods with special engine provision 363. Except if provided in 173.220 after the subchapter, the provisions of the subchapter does not apply to the items of the gas fire extinguisher, compressed gas accumulation, airbag, and ventilator, traders, you like an aim with the install of the engine machinery with the necessary for the operation engine machinery for the safety of the operator passengers. 176.907 polymetric beads and plastic molding compounds. The cargo transport unit must provide adequate exchange of the air of the unit, and the adequate exchange of the air must be accomplished with the utilizing ventilated container. Open top container one door off the operation cargo transport unit. The devices actually with the devices should be kept operable. The mechanic devices UV ventilation that must be explosion proof. An alternative option presented in the paragraph A of the section ensure the adequate exchange of the refrigerator cargo transport may be used. The requirements of paragraph A and B of the section do not apply to the hazardous material. Packaging hermetically sealed with the IBC with the performance of the packaging to performance level of the liquid dangerous good with the total pressure. Packaging the vapor pressure, the material of the plus with the partial pressure of the air and other inert gas less than 55 psi, 131 degrees Fahrenheit. Determine the best for the hazardous material not complying with the filling of a acceptable temperature of 131 degrees Celsius, at least filling the temperature with 59 degrees and not exceed the 2/3 of the marked dash pressure. Reserve cargo transport units must be marked with the warning and not include the caution may contain the flammable vapor. Caution may contain flammable vapor. Letter having the height of the 1 inch of the mark of the thick for each of the excess point and location will be easily seen in the person prior to opening and entering the cargo transport unit must remain in the cargo transport unit following provisions are met. The cargo transport have been completed, ventilated, and removed the hazardous concentration vapor gas immediately venting the cargo transport unit is clear of the source of ignition. Hazardous material have to been unloaded. And that was part 176. Carriage by vessel.